Hi, I'm Josephine Wilkins, and the topic of our video this week is healing your body. So many times people come to me and they have an understanding of energy and thoughts and the notion that they create their own reality. And when they become ill, they instantly start beating themselves up, thinking, well, if I hadn't thought this way, if I'd meditated more, if I was more spiritually evolved, if I had done X, Y, and Z, or if someone else had done this, then I wouldn't be sick, right? What I want you to do from this point forward is the instant that you start feeling sick in your body, I want you to see it as neutrally as when you're driving down the road and you see that your gas tank is a little low, right? So most of you, when your gas tank's a little low, you don't call up your dear friend and say, oh my gosh, I'm such a horrible person, right? I've done this again, and I'm out of alignment, and so I've lost my car is dying, right? And you start punching the windshield, right? That doesn't happen. You go to the gas station, you fill up your tank, you keep going, right? I want you to think about illness as this. I want you to see it as neutrally as that. Why do I want you to do this? When you start doing this, you recognize that that is the action from your highest self. So we are being called, all of humanity right now, to do less talk and more integration, which means to operate more consistently, more continually, as much as humanly possible from your highest self. We move constantly in and out of roles, right? You see your mom, you take on the role of child. You see your lover, you take on the role of lover. You go to the post office, you take on the role of customer, right? We do this naturally, integrating in and out. What we're being called upon to do right now is to be as neutral as possible from the vantage point of our highest self to all that's occurring around us. Negative judgment, impatience, anger, insecurity, right? Everything that's coming up in our life, all the emotions, all the circumstances, job loss, divorce, unemployment, right? All these things that are coming up from a sticky, not so good vantage point. We want to, as much as we are able, to really see it as neutrally as possible and say, okay, what is it that I need to fill up my gas tank? What is it that I need to rejuvenate and to create a revitalization? I can't tell you how many times people have told me cancer was the greatest thing that ever happened to them. Why? Because they learned how to place what was important forward. So this video, I'm going to be very, very simple and very direct. The next time that you are getting sick, the most important thing that I want you to do, which I learned from Peg, a story I'll tell you in just a second, is to rest and slow down. So when I was a little kid, I was very lucky. I would get to go spend the weekend at my parents' friend Peg. She was in her early 80s, and I watched her in total awe because I had never seen somebody who was older, who was so much like a kid, totally, completely healthy, lots of energy, just was so vivacious. And I said to her, I said, what is it that you do? And I wanted to study her and learn from her. And she said, well, I sleep a lot and I get weekly massage. And at the time, I remember thinking, like, I'd heard of massage. I think my mom would get one, when she'd go on vacation or something. But I thought, weekly massage? And I said, why would you do that? Weekly massage, isn't that expensive? And she said, not compared to the hospital bills I'm avoiding. And I thought, oh, whoa. And I said, well, what happens when you get sick? And she said, well, when I get sick, I stop everything. And I said, you mean like a cold or a flu? She goes, yeah. What I do is I stop, and for 24 hours, maybe even 2 days, I just sleep and eat and drink water. And I remember thinking, you don't go to work, you don't go to school, like you just stop? She goes, I stop everything. Whatever I'm doing, I cancel everything. And I rest for as long as I need to. And then I most always am able to kick it. And for me, this was so revolutionary because I remember thinking, well, you got to go to school. You got to keep going. You got to push through it. You got to carry on. And she said, no, because when I've done that before, let's take a cold, for example. She said, I would push through it and it'd last for 2 to 3 weeks. I thought, oh my gosh. So I'm so grateful for Peg. So since then, whenever I've gotten sick, I've practiced this on my own, not always, but so often, I'm able to kick things early on because I slow down right from the beginning and I listen to what my body needs, which is to rest, and I give it that. Our body, when left alone, when supported, when given the nutrients, when giving all that it needs, it is allowed to restabilize, to move back into harmony and move back into health. Now, you're probably looking to me, as I just had a client this weekend look to me and say, well, yeah, this is all nice and everything, but I have to go to a job that I hate. Yeah, I'm going to be straight up with you. As you know right now, planet Earth is not an easy place to be. It's not. There are other realities that are easier. Planet Earth is not easy. We decided as spirit, these spirits right now decided, let me come down and amongst all of that challenge, let me see how I can stay in connection with my highest self. Let me see how amongst all of that I can stay connected to giving my body what it needs. How is it that amongst all of that I can remember that I'm spirit in a physical form? And that physical form is a magnificent vehicle that when you attend to it, when you love it, when you give it the opportunity to restabilize, rest, and be in a place of harmony, it will show up for you again and again, over and over. Is this easy? Let's let it be. Why not? From this point forward, if anybody looks at you, oh, you're taking a day off from, right? We live in a world that doesn't really support this at the moment, but you can be a pioneer and a leader in that. No, I need to stop everything for a while. Okay, you will inspire people. I promise you. I am setting the intention that whether you are facing illness in this moment or we're setting the intention for any future dates, that when that starts to occur for you in your reality, the first blessing that you give to yourself is that you are loving and kind and gentle with yourself. And that as you do so, you take in the information as neutrally as you see your gas tank is a little low. And that you show up for yourself, giving yourself rest, time to slow down, time to be still, time to meditate, time to nourish, and to be truly, truly as much of an advocate for you to restabilize and welcome in and receive all that you're needing to move back into alignment and into health. Sending lots of huge love your way. Bye-bye.